Hi, welcome to the Wild Gut Project. My name is Carrie. So this is all about being vegan and low FODMAP, IBS, and today I'm going to be talking about travelling with IBS and being vegan, specifically in Poland. So for New Year's Eve I went to Gdansk with my boyfriend for a week and I had a wonderful time, and it's just a really gorgeous city. There's so much to do there. Yeah, I would 100% recommend it. And I'm also calling it my first kind of semi-successful travelling experience while being vegan and low FODMAP. So normally for me, before low FODMAPing, I'd basically always be a bit bloated. Occasionally very bloated with cramps and kind of semi-regular diarrhea. And then when I'm strict low FODMAP, I basically don't experience any IBS symptoms at all, which is wonderful. And now I'm just kind of learning my limits, how often, how much I can have of the different FODMAPs. So I've been on 2 trips before to kind of northern Spain and Belgium, and they weren't so successful. Luckily they're only 3-day trips, so the kind of embarrassing consequences didn't really strike until I got home. I've kind of been thinking about why this time it worked so well and what I can learn from that in the future. So I think one of the things that made a big difference is the fact that Gdansk is super vegan friendly. There are loads of vegan bistros and cafes. Everyone knows what vegan is. Tommaso was wonderful. He is very happy to eat vegan and vegetarian food, so we found some really nice places either through Google or Happy Cow. The second thing, which will obviously make a huge difference, is I know so much more about my limits now. I know I'm fine with polyols, so mushrooms and avocado, celery I'm fine with, so I don't have to kind of try and avoid those anymore, which gives you more options. And then I know that fructose, high fructose foods, just not worth it for me. That no matter how good it tastes at the moment, just lay off those. And then I also have quite a bit of leeway with oligosaccharides, as long as I don't have a huge amount at once and I don't have it in every high amounts in every single meal. My body can kind of cope with it. That's something I need to learn more about actually. It just gives me a bit more freedom. So travelling tips in the actual airport. Always carry a water bottle with you. If you have one of the non-disposable ones, you can take them through security as long as you've drunk all the water, so in general that's just a good travelling tip. And just refill those. And then I got some vegan sushi, and that was all low FODMAP as long as I didn't eat too many of the edamame beans. I think starting off pretty strict low FODMAP before I left also really helped kind of limit the damage that would happen while I was there. And then on my first night there we went to a avocado vegan bistro, and that was really nice, really obviously all vegan, and I had a salad and everything was low FODMAP. I had rice as a side, except it had onions in, and I asked for it without onions, but there were still onions in the salad, but I just picked them out and I felt absolutely fine afterwards. I think my life moral now is I'm never eating out, just always pick out the onions. I did that a lot. And then also being able to kind of weigh up whether or not it's worth eating something. So we went to a Mexican place because it said on Google there would be good vegan options. There weren't, but we were hungry and we were there. So I had tortilla wraps and I kind of picked out the onion and the beans from the vegetables, and luckily there weren't many, but that was fine. But then the actual wraps themselves, I think they were mostly made of corn, so they're not actually on the FODMAP app to say whether or not they're low FODMAP, but I think they probably would have been a bit higher. And they just weren't very nice. So before, kind of hate wasting food, I would have just kind of powered through and eaten them. But now I'm kind of well, if they don't taste nice and they'll potentially make me sick, there's no point. So I ordered some chips instead, because I know potato is fine for me. It meant I wasn't kind of risking it where I didn't need to, or it wasn't worth it. The other thing I did was go to a kind of grocery store and pick up some vegan low FODMAP snacks. I just went for some kind of quick store cupboard things I could easily put in my bag. So I got some peanuts, some rice crackers, and a big tub of peanut butter because that's the only size I could find, and some almond milk. So with those it just meant there was always some food I could eat if there wasn't anything else. And we were a bit last minute booking the holiday, so we couldn't find an Airbnb, so we were staying at a hotel. And I think in the future Airbnb is always easier because then you can prepare some food, you can cook some things, you could have a completely safe low FODMAP breakfast and it's stress-free. But in this hotel, actually the food available, a lot of it, definitely vegan, you're good, there's loads of choice, but a lot of it was also low FODMAP, so I had peppers and pickles of sorts, and there were mushrooms, which I know I can eat, and there was even some sourdough bread, and I had some coffee and I had my almond milk, so it was quite useful, just making sure one meal a day I know I was absolutely fine with. Travelling is really important to me, and when I was first kind of understanding the low FODMAP diet, I was just thinking like, I'm never going to be able to like enjoy travelling. Food, I love food. I want to go somewhere and try it, and it was really upsetting to think that maybe I'd never be able to. I'd always have to like bring my awkward bag or box of food and not join in on that aspect. But I think if you're going somewhere vegan friendly and you understand what you can have, you can work around it. And I think also, having spent more time being low FODMAP, my body tolerates FODMAPs better. So just in general, like, it's so worth it. I mean, especially like a romantic weekend away has so much potential to just be like so embarrassing with IBS. But because of the low FODMAP diet, it was fine and I had such a good time. So yeah, I hope that gives you kind of an idea and maybe some kind of hopeful inspiration that at some point, even though maybe if you're new to this it might seem totally unfeasible, you will actually be able to go travelling in other places of the world and enjoy eating delicious vegan and kind of low enough FODMAP to still feel healthy and enjoy the trip. Yeah, so I'd love to know if you have any travelling tips, or if you've actually kind of visited any countries you thought were particularly good for vegans trying to be low FODMAP, because that's my kind of country right now. You know, it's 2018, new year, people are making travel plans, so definitely comment that because that is useful information. But yeah, take care, I will see you in my next video. Bye!